Congressman Ron Paul is in his 7th term from Texas District number 14. That's in the southeast part of the state, and its major cities include Victoria and San Marcos. Good morning, Lakeland, Florida.
B for C-SPAN. I want to ask the world to join me in petitioning President Bush for 2 requests. Number 1 is the criteria for exit from Iraq. Representative Paul, I called my Florida senators and Senator Lugar and Senator McCain and Snowe yesterday and asked them to start working on a statement from the President of the criteria for exit, a checkoff list specifically of when our mission will be completed, a mission statement, also a cost-benefit analysis of U.S. occupation in Iraq for a 5-year period, 10-year period, and 20-year period. This has been hidden, alluded, not specifically stated. So a cost-benefit analysis, also the love and the hate we're going to generate. Let President Bush declare what he thinks, how much hate will be generated in the world by what he plans to do. Does he have an understanding? Senator Graham from Florida has tried to raise this issue. So a cost-benefit analysis, not only in dollars, but the U.S. reputation and how much love or hate we produce in the world.
I mean, great ideas and the kind of things that I've been trying to push for. But there is no exit strategy. It's a long-term occupation that they're planning on. If you even suggest what the war might cost, you might lose your job if you work for the administration, which you know has already happened. Because it's going to be very expensive to go in. And, you know, I added up the cost in current dollars for our war in Korea and our occupation of Korea. And it's over $1 trillion. And here we're on the verge of war with Korea again. And so Iraq, because of the oil, you know, one of the first things they're going to do as the war plans evolve is to grab hold of the oil wells. And they're not going to be given up easily, but we are benevolent and we'll take care of it and we'll make sure everybody is treated fairly. But, you know, is that our business? And the gentleman's correct. How much hate will it generate? And we don't deserve that hate. I mean, we are a much better country. We are not a country that commits aggression and initiates war. So if we care about America, we should live by our traditions and our beliefs and our Constitution. And this whole idea that this is new and different and we have to have a preemptive war. What did we hear from Korea today? He is going to reserve the right for a preemptive war against the United States if it looks like we're going to attack. So we treat him with kids' gloves and we send him money. In the last 5 years, we sent North Korea over $1 billion. Now, the reason I think that we're willing to take on Iraq is that we know he doesn't have any weapons. You know, if he's going to use those weapons if we go in, this is a really dangerous thing we're doing. But I think we're pretty well assured that he is incapable of doing anything. The odds of a guy like Saddam Hussein actually attacking the United States are slim. The odds of this war increasing tremendously, the chances of us being attacked by new terrorists that will come into the fold, I think that is very great.
Give us a call for Congressman Ron Paul, Republican of Texas. Next we go to Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and you agree with the president. Good morning.
Of course I do, and most thinking people do. I don't know, this guy's a Republican. I guess the Democrats have some conservatives, so we need a few liberals in sheep's clothing too, I guess. But anyways, I want everybody to listen to the people that have come out of Iraq lately. The guy I saw last night on C-SPAN, I don't remember, or not C-SPAN, but one of the other shows, I don't remember what he was, but he's a high official in Iraq. He came out of Iraq. Those people are begging to be liberated. They're gonna. We're not going to go in there and have them fight us. When we start to go in there, we're going to have them turning on Saddam. It's not going to be some big bloody war like this guy's trying to scare people. What's he saying? We're just supposed to wait until Saddam does do something and then do something to Saddam? Does this guy really believe that Saddam is not going to do anything ever to us? That's my question to him. He's not capable. He never will. Is that what you're saying? He's just over there and he's a rattlesnake in his den. He's not ever going to come out at night. Rattlesnakes come out at night and bite people, man.
Well, why don't we compare Saddam Hussein to communist Russia? They had 100,000 nuclear weapons, And we treated the Soviets, we treated the Chinese with diplomacy. And we didn't go to war, although we came close to it in Cuba. But if we can handle the Russians, the Soviets, and win the Cold War, you don't think we can handle Saddam Hussein in the same fashion? No, this guy is not capable of initiating a war. He knows he's too smart for that because he is unable to do that. And, you challenge me and say, well, I sound pretty liberal. Well, you ought to take a look at my voting record because I'm considered the most conservative member in the Congress. I vote for the least amount of taxes and the least amount of spending, so therefore I am the most conservative member. I think the conservative position is to conserve our strength, not expose ourselves to these unbelievable expenditures that will give us great harm. I think we will be less secure. And for strong, because that's the most significant responsibility we have, is to provide for a strong national defense. I come to the conclusion that I think we're going to be more vulnerable. We cannot sustain the foreign policy that we have of policing the world. We're in 147 different countries right now, and we spend a lot of money, and we cannot fight two wars right now, and that's why Korea knows that, and the Koreans know that, and that's why they're being so belligerent, because it is going to be tough for us. And this will contribute to the weakening of our dollar. It's already going down sharply, and even if my views do not prevail, because quite frankly I don't think they will, I think the war drums are beating and they're too loud and I can't stop them. But economic law will limit our exposure and our efforts around the world, just as it has on all other empires. We can't afford it. We don't have the money. We can't even take care of the sick people in this country. The unemployment rate is going up, and we're going to spend $400 billion on military, the military-industrial complex, that will go to not helping us. I mean, we take our Coast Guard and we're sending them to the Persian Gulf. We send our Coast Guard to Colombia. And here we should be watching for the Al-Qaeda in our ports. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Should the UN inspectors continue their work?
Well, I don't have a lot of confidence in the UN, and I'm not a fan of the UN. I think under the circumstances they should, because there's less chance of war, and maybe we'll come to our senses. But no, I think this has all been orchestrated to be another UN war, and I don't think it'll be any more successful than the UN war in Korea. That was our first UN war. It just goes on and on and on, and you never have an end point. And the gentleman before talked about an exit. You never have an exit strategy if you don't declare the war. Then you know who your enemy is, and then you know what you have to do. We declared war against Hitler, and nothing would have stopped us until we defeated Hitler. But we went into the Persian Gulf in 1991. We didn't declare war. We didn't know that Saddam Hussein was the enemy. And now this war has gone on for 12 years or so, and it won't end after the next battle that we go in and we take over that country. That'll just be another battle in this ongoing war.
St. Louis, Missouri, you're next.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, gosh. I tell you what. I am behind the president 100%. Here's my question to you. I am speaking as a direct descendant of Meriwether Lewis, and you know he's a governor, and he was a great expeditionist in this country, and I am also a ladies member of the VFW, which is Veterans of Foreign War. Now, here's my question to you. When you first came on this show, you said that bin Laden was a religious man. What kind of a religious man belongs to terrorist groups? My other question to you is that how can you even call someone like him a religious man? Now, in my position, I'm behind my government. I'm behind my president 100%. I love this country as much as you or anybody else does. But I think you have to ask yourself, how many years has the United States stood back and been the forgiving person and been the one country out of all of them that has always given a helping hand to many, many, many countries? Charity starts at home. Protection starts at home. I was married to a veteran in Vietnam that lost his leg over there. He was over there for 2 years. And to this day, that man would still stand up for this country.
Well, the issue whether or not Osama bin Laden is religious, I don't think there's a question about that, but I'd agree with the caller's implication that it's a very distorted, evil distortion of religion. No, I mean, sometimes people do things in the name of religion which are very evil. So, yes, in the good sense, no, he's not a good religious, devout person. No, I think it's evil, but we have that in all religions. A lot of evil things have been done in all of the great religions, but that doesn't undermine the true values of each one of those. So I just think that point is probably not as important, other than understanding the difference between Osama bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. That is very important.
And in your opinion, what's the difference?
Well, the one is that one is driven by religious beliefs, and the other by a secular religion who really doesn't care that much about religion, and they're enemies of each other. Because, Osama bin Laden resents very much even the pseudo-religious leaders of Saudi Arabia, because they're so easily kowtowed by our policy, and they are, and of course, Saudis allow us to put bases on what the fundamentalists consider holy land. So that it plays a part, but it's a division within their own religion as well as a division with the secularists like Saddam Hussein.